pause. Whenever I say mac and cheese, Jenna was saying
Everybody freeze.
Everybody freeze.
Okay. That is so cute.
Yeah, I learned that when I was substitute teaching. Okay, they taught me. All right, ready? Go.
You can just cut it.
Mac and cheese.
Everybody freeze.
All right, everyone, I want you to grab your clocks. Don't forget that the blue hand is the hour and the yellow hand is for the minutes. I'm gonna play you a read aloud. I know how much you love to listen to me read to you. However, I thought we would change it up and watch it on YouTube today.
Cute.
Yeah. So while you're watching this, I'm gonna stop it just a couple of times. Pay really close attention to every time that it
Fun with math and time.
says a time. So whenever it says a start time, you should set your clock. We'll stop though, so you can stay on track. And then every 3 to 4 times, I'm going to make sure everyone's moving theirs accordingly. Sometimes it's gonna say an hour, sometimes it's gonna say a couple of minutes. Just make sure you're moving it. And we'll see where we are at the end, all right?
Query by Amy Axelrod. Pictures by Sharon McGinley-Nally. The pigs were in a rut. We need a change of pace, said Mrs. Pig. We've been glued to this couch for hours. Let's spend the day at the beach, suggested Mr. Pig. Great idea, said Mrs. Pig, except for one thing. What's that? Asked Mr. Pig. The beach is an hour's drive from here, she said. Don't you think we'd be getting a late start? Mr. Pig looked at his watch. It was 11:30. No problem.
All right, what time did it say that it was?
11:30.
So what should your clock look like? Can you hold it up, please? That one's actually backwards. It should look like this. The long hand, the hour hand should be. Yes. All right. Let's move on.
He said. We could be on the road in no time. Well then, family, said Mrs. Pig. Ready, set, go! In just 10 minutes, the piglets changed into swimsuits, packed beach toys, and blew up their floats. 5 minutes later, Mrs. Pig came downstairs wearing a new swimsuit and toting a bag filled with.
Okay. So if you've seen this, right? This is what it should look like. So what should it be on now that like 10 minutes have passed?
11:40.
You're right.
40.
Right. So in the actual classroom, we would go through this video. It's about like roughly 7 minutes. And then, why is keeping time so important? Can anyone raise their hand and give me some suggestions? Yes.
So you're not late to class.
So you're not late to class, so you're not late to your appointments or to the movies or to your dinner day, you know, any of those things. All right, so we're gonna come over here and we're gonna work through this together. The video of the read aloud, it describes elapsed time. Can anyone tell me what elapsed time is? The definition, maybe? Yes?
How much time has passed?
Yes, exactly. Elapsed time means how much time has passed, or how much time is a time interval ultimately. So, can I have a volunteer to come write this for me? Here you go. So, 20 minutes after 2:25, we are going to use a timeline today. This is a big thing that we're working on because we've used clocks already to demonstrate how we move through time or demonstrate demonstrate how much time has passed. Today we're going to do timelines. So this is the start time. It'll be 2:25. Can you write 2:25 right here? And ultimately on the timeline, we do hops. So if it's 2:25 right here, I'm gonna write this stuff. We're gonna start right here. If it's 2:25 and we need to go 5 minutes, should we break it up into 2 sets of 10 or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. Don't forget we have to label each of these. So then for the first hop, add 10 minutes to 2:35. Anyone tell me what that is? Yes.
2:35.
Right. And then we're gonna add one more hop on our timeline. What would our final time be? 20 minutes after 2:25. 2:45 p.m. All right, do you want to start this one for us? So what is 35 minutes after 2:40? We're gonna help write this. So the original time is 1:40. How many hops do you think she should make? 7. 7 of what? Increments of what? All right, we can do that. No, it doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, we should label each of these. So, what is 35 divided by 7 is 5. So each of them should be labeled 5. What would the first hop be equivalent to? If they're 5-minute hops. 1:40 to 1:45, and then so on, and then the total would be Can anyone tell her what's after 150?
1:55.
And then what's after 155?
2 o'clock.
And then what's after 2 o'clock?
2 o'clock.
So 35 minutes after 1:40 is
2:05
p.m. p.m. Yeah, because we don't want to jump 12 hours, right? Alrighty, thank you so much for being my helper. We would obviously work through this in a real classroom. Next, everyone has a little bag on their table. We're gonna play a game. If you can, grab like an extra piece of paper and a writing utensil and lay all of these face down on the table so that your partners can't see them and neither can you. So how our game goes, we're gonna have one team captain. Every table select a team captain if you can. If not, I can totally pick one for you.
I'll be the team captain.
All right. So the team captain is going to pick up a card, turn it over, and read it to your group. And the objective is to first finish before all of the other teams, and then second, work as a team together to come up with one answer. You need to write these down. Also, you have to wait. If one person doesn't understand, then ultimately you have to help your team member get the right answer. If they are still not understanding, every team member has to raise their hand so I can come over and help them. All right. You should have about 1 minute after your team captain reads the question out loud. You have about 1 minute to solve it and then answer it. And if not, then you keep on retrying with your team members until you get the right answer. And whoever wins are the champs. They probably win something. And go. Yes, go. don't forget to use your timeline that we've worked on.
39.
And if that's still difficult, you can use the analog clocks that we started with this morning. You good?
Yep.
How many have got there?
Well, I need help.
Okay.
We need to go for more.
Okay.
Yes.
Shayla has 2 hours and 30 minutes. Program starts at 6:30.
What time does it need to leave?
Just 2 hours and 20 minutes. And her next is 6:30. She's starting at 2 and 5. The times start at 2.
Basketball every day.
Thank you.
I do practice last 1 hour and a half. What time does?
Alright, mac and cheese.
Everybody
So did anyone finish? Yeah? Wasn't that super fun?
Yes.
If you can put your cards back inside your bag so we can put those inside of your learning center later on. Alright, we all have a paper, a handout. Everyone does. So since I have demonstrated how to use a timeline, we have worked together in table groups on how to use a timeline or an analog clock if it's still difficult. It is now your turn to demonstrate how you determine how much time has passed.
I need help.
Okay. So if you want to join me in the back, we can bring your materials, your analog clock, and a blank sheet of paper so we can practice doing timelines together.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to join her, then feel free. And I'll be there in just a second. I'm done. Okay. So, since you are so great at telling time, you actually get to determine how many minutes are in between each movie show time. So, whenever you go to buy your tickets, it's a really cool game. Mark your answers on this, and then here's the sheet with all of the movie times and tickets. Your partners may join you at any point whenever they get done. Alright, mac and cheese. Alrighty, so now that everyone's done, let's just review the importance of keeping time and why it's important to keep track of how much time has elapsed. So everyone has an exit ticket. If you could solve that problem. Also, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them out loud so I can come by and help you. Any misconceptions that you may still be having. And thank you so much.